offering our collective salutations to the Almighty, revered elders, devotees from across the globe, staff and students, a very good morning and a warm welcome to the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. The Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "The greatest virtue is to follow the way of nature." This profound truth reminds us that harmony is not achieved by force, but by flowing with grace, by aligning our thoughts, words, and deeds with the rhythm of the creation. Sadhguru too exemplifies this principle, guiding us to live with balance, simplicity, compassion, in tune with the divine will. Today, we celebrate Hong Kong and China, where wisdom flows as deeply as its rivers and tradition stands as steadfast as its mountains. One of the world's oldest civilizations, China has gifted humanity with timeless insights from the philosophy of Tao to the discipline of Confucian thought, from delicate brushwork in art to grand achievements in science and innovation. Hong Kong's spirit finds strength in unity and beauty in balance. It teaches that peace begins within and radiates outwards, transforming families, communities, and nations. Today, we are privileged to welcome Professor Lawrence Pan Eng Van Kee, a distinguished academic, entrepreneur, and a thought leader from Hong Kong, whose work bridges the timeless wisdom of the East with the modern dynamism of the West. Professor Pang holds a doctorate in management from Renmin University of China, along with an MBA and a Bachelor of Science from Hong Kong's leading universities. He is the founding president of both the Society of Chinese Wisdom and Management and the Academy of Chinese Wisdom and Management Limited, and has served as an adjunct professor at the Hong Kong Baptist University and the City University of Hong Kong. With decades of experience in management, marketing, and leadership across Asia, North America, and beyond, Professor Pang has collaborated with leading global institutions and corporations, including Jardine Matheson, Dow Chemical, Pearson Longman, and the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. He also served as Executive Director of Advanced Card Systems Limited, a pioneer in smart card technology. Beyond the spheres of business and academia, Professor Pang is a writer, lecturer, social entrepreneur, martial arts coach, musician, and international affairs commentator. Through his multifaceted career, he has sought to integrate Chinese and Western wisdom, applying ancient philosophical insights to contemporary management and social development. A man of intellect and integrity, Professor Pang exemplifies the spirit of holistic leadership, reminding us that when knowledge is guided by wisdom and service, it transforms not only organization, but the humanity itself. Professor Lawrence Pan Eng Van Kee.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. With sincere gratitude to Sadhguru, I'm very honored to be invited to attend this World Cultural Festival 2025. I come from Hong Kong, which is part of China, and I was brought up in a Christian school. And I was a scientist and eventually went into business. And I got my PhD in management. And all the way I have been in the business world. And at my age of 50, I find that the business world is not suitable for me. What I lack is the spiritual and cultural aspects of life. That's the reason why I devoted myself to the pursuit of religion, spirit, and also Chinese culture. Today, I have very good opportunity to share with you on my journey to spiritual life and about Chinese culture to introduce to you what is Chinese wisdom and also its philosophy and religions. China is a civilization in the form of a country. We have 1,000 years of history, which is actually quoted from the book of Clash of Civilization by Professor Samuel Huntington. Civilization is the continuation, is the continuation and heritage of wisdom through survival. Man, in fact, is part of nature. Nature provides us with the environment to survive. This exactly is what we have learned throughout 1,000 years of history. A lot of people feel that China is a big but mysterious country. In fact, we are all the same. We are all equal. We are human beings. We have gone through all this history for fighting for survival and learn about the experiences we have been facing, what are the challenges in the world. Based on these few 1,000 years of experiences, we conclude that how can we survive in life and at the same time really have a harmonious world we'll be able to live in. And the key point is actually we share the same vision as one world, one family, all based on love. In fact, this is also the fundamental spirit of Chinese culture. But if we look at the more details, you will see that there are 4 pillars of Chinese wisdom. The first one, we called the Yi Jing, the book of change, we called it. And it is actually the very first book ever in China. It was actually formed in the year of 1050 BC, before Christ. It's the very first book talking about the world is changing. This is the fundamental rules of nature. And the second pillar is the Confucianism, the people-centered, and then also at the same time that focusing on people relationships. And then what we feel about our origin of the universe and what are the relationship between man and the universe. Then we came with the third pillar as Taoism, which is talking about the power of nature. And then later introduced from India, that was the Buddhism. And these 4 pillars actually formed exactly the elements of Chinese culture and forming the spirit of Chinese nation and our people. Actually, because a lot of people know about Buddhism, that's why today I just focus on Confucianism and Taoism. First of all, we understand that the universe is actually a constantly changing system in dynamic equilibrium. Every day we are seeing the day and night, and then all these are actually recycle every day. And it was actually driven by 2 forces. One is yin and yang. When we are going to day, eventually going dark, and then eventually coming bright again. This is very natural. And just from this phenomenon, we know that this is the basic rules of nature. That's why we are all facing ups and downs in our life. And we have good and the bad. They're all existing equally and sometimes cycling again. But among all these phenomena, the basic thing is what? The world is always changing. and then changing along some simple rules. And these simple rules, once we get hold of these simple rules of the world and of the life changing, we'll be able to get the key of how to live a good life and facing all the challenges in life. And also at the same time, we have to identify that something never change. And one of them is actually love and humanity, which is the force combining us together. Otherwise, we will be fighting each other every day, and it will be threatening to our survival. And more than that, we just feel that the universe would be able to condense into some basic principles. So in our Chinese culture, throughout the history, we discovered a system that will be able to analyze the entire universe, all the phenomena. We call the 5 elements, which is actually a symbiotic system dominating everything. That's how we divided even our body. We divide into 5 major organ systems, forming a human being who will be able to survive and alive and healthy. The elements are wood, fire, water irrigates plants. We burn the wood, we will be getting fire. When the fire extinguishes, it comes into the ashes, which is soil. Within the soil and the earth, we will be able to dig out metals, even gold. But all this gold, all these things, when we really heat it, burn it, actually all these things will come into liquid form. So that's why all these 5 elements they are interrelated. This is the positive forces, and at the same time they have the negative forces. For example, water can actually put out fire. So based on this concept of yin and yang, and also at the same time with 5 elements, we'll be able to analyze the whole world. And in fact, we have a whole system of analyzing people's character and the relationship based on yin and yang and the 5 elements system. So let's go back to our basic pillar. The basic pillar is actually Confucianism. Who is Confucius? Confucius is a nobleman. He's a scholar. He has the spirit of our gurus today. He laid down all the rules of how we are able to live together harmoniously. And the core ethical principle is called Ren, which is equivalent to what today we are talking about, humaneness, benevolence, and in fact, is simply love. So you mean that love is actually combining all together in our whole world. And this Ren, the love, we'll say it is the highest virtue. Only with this that we'll be able to live together harmoniously. Without this, we'll probably fighting each other, just like what is happening in Middle East and Ukraine, which is really painful. And the silver rule is actually, do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. So, the most important thing is that we have our inner compass actually guiding us for all our actions. It is our basic value actually coming up with directing our behaviors. And our behavior would determine our success and failure and our relationships to others. So, the other element in Confucianism is actually we call Li, the ritual propriety. The entire body of customs, rituals, ethics, and social norms that guide behavior is the proper way to interact in every situation, how to greet people, how to actually mourn, how to behave even as a child or even as a ruler or father and mother. So following Li brings order and beauty to human relationship, expressing the inner passion and love outwardly. So in the core of Confucianism is actually Ren, the love, and also Li, the ritual propriety. he focused on how do we live harmoniously with each other. It is also based on this. This is the fundamental of all Chinese people, that how we are behaving as a very, very polite, benevolent nation and of all Chinese. And also, when we are talking about people, because Confucianism is focused on people relationship, we are talking about the 5 key relationships we are often faced with our family, with our friends, husband and wife, father and son, the ruler and the subject. And then the brotherhood and friendship. All these becomes the most important part of our life. So that once we have all these relationships well dealt with, we'll be able to live a harmonious and happy life. These few days, some of our friends asked me, saying that, why over 70 or 80% of Chinese are atheists? I would like to answer the question is because of Confucianism is deep into our heart. Our mind is actually deep. To be polite and living harmonious with people is the most important. And also at the same time, during the chaotic years, at the very beginning of the history of China, that the kings are very superstitious because of they're afraid of the nature. But when they are turned down by the Zhou dynasty, which is around 1050 BC, that they say that if the king, the throne, was actually appointed by heaven, but why we as another tribe will be able to turn them down? Because they are not actually fulfilling their duties. So beginning from that point, in Zhou dynasty, which is actually developed by Confucius further, the concept is saying that the most important thing is we have our duty. Everybody has their duty. If they do it right, then you will be okay. But even the kings, they are in the wrong, in that position, they are doing wrong, they will be turned away. So the important thing is we respect heaven, we respect gods. But the even more important thing is you have to do the best of yourself. So that's why he focused so much on people relationship and the rules, morality and ethics. And this is exactly why, Chinese people, most of them seem to be not so religious, but because Confucianism is deep in our heart. So how actually we are achieving what is Confucianism is actually we would like to develop everybody into a virtuous person. We call it Junzi. The Junzi is actually guided by Ren and Li, and then cultivated through education and self-reflection, acts with righteousness, and possesses integrity and trustworthiness. How are we going to develop that? By self-cultivation and education. That's why Chinese culture asks ourselves, everything is from within. Build up your own spiritual life and then key values, then you will be able to develop further. So, by continuous learning and also reflect yourself every day. What have we done right and what have we done wrong? So that you will continuously improve yourself. And then by practice, by really, doing what you should do. So, this is actually, we would say, a philosophy or way of dealing people. Is Confucianism a religion? Yes and no. Confucianism has no central church or clergy, and also is vague or silent on the afterlife, gods, and supernatural doctrines, and primarily focus on people relationships. So that's why some people say Confucianism is not religion, but I can tell you it is. Because, the concept of heaven always in our mind. We respect the heaven. We respect all the gods, okay? But you are more focusing on people relationships, which is actually what we can do every day. And then at the same time, we respect our ancestors, because it's because of them we will be able to have us today. And they will also give us spiritual and also protection and help. And also at the same time, we have a lot of sacred rituals and ceremony. And then we pursue of self-transcendence, because we need to really, eventually become the real virtuous Junzi. And then we have the moral cosmos. We respect heaven. We worship our ancestors, and at the same time, we focus on family and state. That's why all Chinese focus so much, love their family and love their country. And we all targeted for salvation of ourselves. This so much for Confucianism, form one of the very important fundamental of Chinese culture. And then, talking about another pillar is Taoism. What is Taoism? Taoism is slightly different from Confucianism because Taoism focuses on nature. What is Tao? Tao is actually a concept, actually something we respect because it is the rules of nature. How could we actually survive? Because everything happening in this universe following the rules of Tao. If we are not, our body, yourself, is not following the Tao, problems will come. So that's why you become sick, okay? So it's because what is happening in your body is against the rules of nature. That's why we need doctors and other means. But the most important thing is you have to understand what is Tao. Once we understand understand the rules of nature, then we will be able to really follow that. That will guarantee you happiness, health, and all the prosperity. So, what is it really Taoism tell us? Taoism saying that, don't try to do something you yourself forced to do. You have to follow the rules of nature. That's we call Wu Wei. The concept of Wu Wei is what? Is that when you are doing something, don't use force. We can get things done with effortless action because we do things along with the rules of nature. And then when we are doing this, we are actually a perfect match between human being and also what is in heaven. And because of this, we follow the rules of nature to do everything, then you will be able to succeed. And because of that, we have to be able to recognize what's happening in the real world and then, do exactly when it is necessary. So, fundamental principle also from the Taoism is saying that originated from Yi Jing, the book of change. We called the yin and yang, the force of that. We called the ethical ideal is actually follow all these yin-yang changes and then what is happening around us. We called 自然, the nature. The naturalness or spontaneity, that human nature and simple living. So Taoism tells us all this money, all this fame, they're all artificial. The most important thing is we want to understand the everything and also at the same time what is the heaven and also what is happening in the universe. So the paradoxical insight is softness over hardness. We just want to not force on this way, but he said, follow the rule softly and smoothly, then you will be there. So, the social political ideal is the ruler who does not interfere. Let people understand what is Tao, and the entire organization, the nation, the family, people will be able to behave well according to the rules of nature. That's why we would like everybody to know what is Tao. So when we are talking about Taoism as a religion, the ultimate goal is to have a physical and spiritual immorality. And then we do have a lot of sacred, we have a sacred regimes. And also we have a lot of different practices. So when we are talking about what is really happening in a lot of areas, including our physical health. We talk about the path to immorality is by practicing inner and outer alchemy. The path to we are talking about the outer and inner alchemy, the three treasures. We call it Jing, Qi, and Shen. Jing, what does that mean? It means the essence or vital base substance, just like a candle. Okay, you have all this wax, and then when you light it, you come up with the light or the candle light. Then this is the Qi, the vital energy or life force, and then the brightness is actually the Shen, is the spirit or conscience of all these phenomena. In Taoism, we worship gods, deities, and immortals. We also respect historical figures. They are actually achieving, high achievements. I can show you some of the gods we are actually worshiping. The first one is the Lord Lao. Taoism was actually originated from Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu is actually about 20 years older than Confucius. So that's why Confucius, once he went to see Lao Tzu and asked for advice. This picture is showing the picture of Lao Tzu. And there's also other gods. These are just showing some of you to share what will be the shape. So in Taoism, we don't say that we only worship one God. No. We say that God are everywhere. There are many gods. They represent different deeds they have achieved. I don't know whether you heard about Guan Yin, and Guan Yin is one of the most popular among all these gods. Also Guan Gong, all these things. So, we share a lot of values in terms of deity and also the gods. In the rituals and community, the priests, temples, and ceremonies, Taoism the temples and ceremonies, we have a lot of rituals, elaborate, multi-day ceremonies to harmonize the community with the cosmos, bless the land, and petition the deities for protection. And we have a lot of priests too. We call it Dao Shi. They perform rituals, offer prayers, exercise benevolence, spirits, and guide the community in practices and morality. We also have a lot of sacred scriptures. It is a massive canon of texts. The Tao Zhang is a huge collection of all the documents, wisdom in it. And the ethical and moral code, we call the De is actually the actions and behaviors following the rules of nature, Tao. And also all these, we distinguish it into good deeds and bad deeds. In Chinese culture, we firmly believe that all good deeds will win support automatically. This is exactly what I admire, what one world, one family is actually achieved. It's a remarkable achievement. Taoism is a path of achieving physical immorality and the spiritual transcendence by harmonizing with the Tao through a structured system of practices. like inner alchemy and rite and ritual, under the guidance of a priesthood and with the support of a vast pantheon of deities. What is inner and outer alchemy? We believe in what time in history, the Taoists, the priests, they believe that something from the chemistry, some of the external things can help us to achieve an immortal life. That was the very beginning of the chemistry in China. And eventually this concept was evolved into an inner alchemy. That means all this help is not from outside. All this help is actually coming from inside. So that's why you really have to practice. They have a whole system of practice, how to achieve this. And this is also reason why, okay, all the Chinese medicine and also the modern way or natural healing in the Chinese community was originated from Taoism. In fact, the greatness of Taoism is that it is the origin of a lot of art, martial arts, music, philosophy, and all these things actually originated from Taoism, including Sun Tzu, okay, the art of war. So you can see that the influence of Taoism and Confucianism becomes really the pillar of entire Chinese culture, of course, including Buddhism. And that's the reason why we are talking about Chinese culture. What is Chinese culture? It's not only one Confucianism or Taoism. It's a mixture of all these plus Buddhism because they focus on different areas. And also because of that, you will feel that China, in our Chinese way of behavior, sometimes they use this particular way of dealing with this problem, and facing another problem, you will probably need another way of thinking. For example, we are dealing with people, you will be using Confucianism. If you're dealing with entire world, the universe, and all these changes, okay, you use Book of Change, the I Ching, and also Taoism. But you're talking about death and life or afterlife, then you will be more focused on Buddhism. So that's why Chinese culture is a mixture of I Ching, Confucianism, Taoism, and also Buddhism. So as a conclusion, in summary, Chinese wisdom is a composite and enduring system. It is the understanding of constant change from the I Ching, the pursuit of social harmony, in harmony, through Confucianism, the alignment, the natural power via Taoism, and the insight in the mind and conditionality from Buddhism. These are not conflicting doctrines, but complementary strands woven into a single cohesive worldview. An individual can embody them all simultaneously. This is the wisdom that has sustained Chinese civilization. It offers a perspective that views the world as a web of relations, constantly changing, yet perpetually seeking balance. In this light, China is indeed more than a country. It is a civilization, and its ancient kingdom remains profoundly relevant for our modern world. This is why our presidency always emphasizes on building a community with a shared future for mankind. Through love, benevolence, and we could all live happily and harmoniously. Finally, I would like to send my gratitude to Sadhguru again and One World, One Family mission for inviting me here and encouraging peace and unity among mankind. And this is we share among all the culture. We all fundamentally, most important is love. So thank you very much for your participation and hope. Hope that this will be able to share with you a little bit of Chinese culture, although it's short, but as I hope it will give you an idea what is the Chinese culture. Thank you.
We extend a heartfelt gratitude to Professor Pang Lawrence Van Key for sharing his wisdom with all of us this morning. Now, may we invite Professor Sri Kantamurthy, Vice Chancellor, Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, to extend our token of gratitude and appreciation to Professor Pang Lawrence Van Key. We shall now have a short break for 5 minutes and reconvene for Satya Darpan. Thank you.
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन महागणपते पाहि गजानन महागणपते पाहि गजानन महागणपते पाहि गजानन महागणपते पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन महागणपते पाहि गजानन महागणपते पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गजवदना पाहि गजानन गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गुरु महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ
Offering our collective salutations at the feet of our beloved Sadguru, respected elders, devotees from around the world, staff and students, good morning and welcome to Satya Darpan. Yesterday in his discourse, Sadguru commenced the 11th chapter of the Ashtavakra Gita, explaining that while there are 3 gateways to hell, Kama, desires, Krodha, anger, and Lobha, greed, the only doorways to heaven is Satya, truth. He further elaborated on the second sloka, which means one who is firmly convinced that God alone is the creator and there is nothing apart from him, and whose every desire has melted away, only such a person can establish in peace. Quoting the timeless message that Lord Sri Krishna gave to Yudhishthira to hold on to during life's most difficult moment, etadapi gamishyati, this too shall pass, Sadguru beautifully explained that endurance is among the greatest virtues one must cultivate on the spiritual path. On behalf of everyone, we pray to Sadguru to continue to teach us the 11th chapter of the Ashtavakra Gita.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै शांति शांति शांति।
Today also happens to be a very happy beginning of another urgent care center in a remote village in Chelur, where I went and came just now. It's in Bagepalli Taluk, around 1.5 hours of drive from here. And that's been opened today, dedicated to the people of the village, along with the Shah Happiness Foundation from the US, which is supporting in building these rural healthcare centers, slightly upgraded than just primary health centers, which can do more than that. And if there is a necessity, then people can be shifted to our higher centers like this hospital. That is the idea. Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karvavahi. This is the idea of the Upanishads. This Shanti mantra says, may we be protected together. Sahana avatu, sahanau bhunaktu. May we enjoy the fruits of our labor together. Sahaviryam karvavahi. May we work together, strive together. May we exert ourselves in the pursuit of knowledge. And tejas vinamaditamastu. Whatever we do, let it remain in our memory. Let it remain with us forever. And ma vidvishavahi. Let us not cause hostility and sorrow to each other in this process of learning and teaching. Why this mantra is important? Because every time I tell, in togetherness lies our strength. No one man can do anything much. It is the principle of society, of coming together of like-minded individuals, that makes this happen. So when we were embarking on multiple healthcare centers, naturally us alone sitting here or from here, we could not achieve all these things. There has to be a collaboration with various organizations, and that is why today's session we started a little late. But I did not want to break the chain, and we should continue whatever we have started on. And therefore we will continue with Ashtavakra Gita, even though whatever limited time we have today. We were in the 11th chapter yesterday, and we learnt a few things, like there is no point in running behind the shadows of this world, because none of it is real. It all appears to be real, but he says that all the ideas of your sukha, dukkha, janma, mrityu, they are all transient, they will be passing, they cannot be permanent. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha, it says. Tasmat apariharyarte tatraka paridevana. This This chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is very important. If somebody wants to read Bhagavad Gita, even if they don't read the whole of it, at least the chapter 2 should be read. The idea is that this birth and death are part of life. If birth happens, death will follow. If death happens, a birth follows. At least in the Eastern philosophy, we truly believe in that. Somebody said, how do you know that this is true? That people are born and people die and then people are born. They are the same souls getting recycled, repeated again and again. And I keep telling the story of Kanchi Paramacharya, who once was questioned like this, and he invited the journalist who was questioning to go and see all the babies that were born in Kanchipuram around that time, in the last 1 or 2 days, and make a report and come back as to what kind of babies they are, in which families they were born, rich, poor, healthy, sick, and so on. So this journalist went about collecting the data and came back and said all these babies were born. Some were born in rich families, well-to-do families, some were born to poor parents, some were born with some congenital diseases, some were born very healthy, and so on and so forth. So after the whole list was prepared and submitted, Mahaswamiji told, tell me, why would God be partial to some by giving them birth in rich families, healthy bodies, and why would he be not kind to the others by making them born in poor households and with sickness? There is no answer to that, because God by nature is supposed to be impartial, loving to all. Then what makes people rich or poor or healthy or sick at the time of birth? During one's life, one can become rich or poor, we understand. But what's the fault of the babies to be born this way? There were no answers. There is no answer to that. And that is the time when he said, because we have a previous karma, life, our prarabdhas are there. As we learned yesterday, prarabdha, sanchita and agami karmas are there. In that prarabdha is what is in motion right now, the actions of which the results are now in motion, in fruition. So those are the results now we are experiencing by being born in certain families, certain problems. So he says, if you want to somehow remedy this, tasmat apariharyarthe, it is not possible to remedy this or change this or adjust this or modify this. This is how it is. The one who is born will die, the one who dies will be born again. This goes on. And you do not have any control over it. You cannot change it. You cannot modify it or remedy this. Tasmat apariharyarthe. Natvam shochitum harasi, he says. Don't you be sad over this. Don't you worry about it. Don't you be anxious. Because this is beyond your control. As we say, if it is in your control, then why worry? And if it is not in your control, then why worry as well? Because both ways you can't do anything about it. So, the Jnani sees these transience, impermanence, and accepts it. Accepts it. This is the nature of the world. This is what Ashtavakra is saying in all the last few shlokas. Accept this is the nature of the world. The one who is born would die. The one who dies will be born again. Today there will be happy times, tomorrow there might be sad times. Today there is success, tomorrow there will be failure. Today you might be excited, tomorrow you will be depressed. This is the way of life. It goes on and on and on like a cycle. Like seasons change every year. When we celebrate our New Year, we call it Samvatsara. Samvasanti ritavah yasmin iti samvatsaraha. It means that period of time in which different seasons happen. That is the period called 1 year in our Sanskrit verse. What it means is that once you enter a new year, you are ready to accept all the seasons. You can't wish away, I don't like cold, there shouldn't be any winters this year. Or I don't like rains, there should not be raining this year. Nature is not going to listen to you. Of course, we are disturbing nature right now and seasonal changes are happening and climate issues are started. That's a different matter. But this is something which is part of nature. When we start a year, we even in India, in Yugadi, when we start in Telugu and even Kannada, we make a pachadi, a chutney, a recipe, which is mix of all flavors. It has got bitterness of neem, it has got the sourness of raw mangoes, it has got the sweetness of jaggery, it has got a taste of lemon or coriander, what you call this, the tamarind, so also sugar. So all kinds of taste. We mix all of that because we believe that there is no particular taste to life. Life is a mix of several tastes, several flavors. like the Ugadi Pachadi. It has several flavors. If somebody says, I think it is sweet, he is right. If somebody says, I think it's bitter, he is also right. Somebody says, I think it is sour, he is also right. Somebody says it is tangy, that also is right. Because all flavors are there in that little recipe, and that is made very intelligently by our ancestors, this formula, to make us understand that the year that is starting now will be mix of things. Nobody can say it is a good year or a bad year. It is a year, that's it. It is a mix of things, and that is how it will be. So that is the idea that Ashtavakra is again and again emphasizing. Don't be too attached to this idea that it has to be this way. Rather be accepting of the fact that life is a mix of things. And it keeps changing. Nothing lasts forever. The good times don't last, so also bad times don't last. So that is the good part. Bad times also don't last. This also comes and goes. That is the idea of etadapi gamishyati. When Krishna tells Yudhishthira, open this leaf in which I have written a small message for you only in the worst of your times. And in one of those very bad times, the king Yudhishthira, desperate to know what was written, opens the leaf on which Krishna had scribbled something and reads, etadapi gamishyati, this too shall pass. That is the way when one should look at life. Everything is passing. Passing clouds, Bhagavan used to say. If you go and complain to him about anything, oh, I have so much trouble, there are so many issues, I have so many doubts, he would say, Anta passing clouds, he would say. That is the idea. Life is a passing cloud. It comes and goes. That's why it's called Jagat. World is called Jagat. Jagat, the one which comes and goes. So don't be too attached and don't be too insistent about it. We also learned how Kunti went one step ahead and said, actually, if there is going to be trouble and also is going to be good time in this world, I would rather want troubles. That is because only in troubled times do I remember you, Krishna. In good times, I forget you. In good times, I totally forget you. Once I was with Bhagavan, he was telling, it's quite a strong statement he made. He said, people use me like a toilet in the washroom. When there is emergency, you come running. You can't wait for a minute. You need to go. And once you're finished, done, your stomach is happy now, you forget. Who revisits the toilet? Do we go to the toilet to pay our gratitude and convey our, whatever, gratefulness that it helped us in very difficult times? No, we don't. So he told people use God like a toilet nowadays. They just come to God when they are desperate for some situation or problem, and after that they forget. They go about eating whatever they want and then do as they please. And only when they have trouble again, they come running again. Don't make like that, he told. So this is how world is. World will be like this, but Kunti says, give me more troubles, O Krishna, because only in troubled times I remember you. If there are no troubled times, I don't remember you at all. So that is the idea. Kabir Das also says, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi, jo sukh mein sumiran kare, dukh kahe ko hoye. Everybody remembers God in bad times. Nobody remembers God in good times. If we remember God in good times, then why would we face bad times? Or even if there are bad times, why we will not be able to face it happily? Because we are remembering God at all times. So that is the idea. God is not a utility. God is a constant presence, which helps us to go through whatever we go through. Today also somebody sent a message. I think David sent a message. At some point in time, after a huge natural disaster, he is a psychotherapist. So he was sent to Philippines, right? And he also went to Hawaii, Hanoi, Haiti. So Haiti also, there are a lot of tornadoes and all kinds of things happen. And he also went to Philippines for counseling those who went through tremendous losses during those natural calamities. People lost their homes, their wealth, their loved ones, and so on. So for post-traumatic, counseling, he went there. And when he went there, he realized that in one country, without naming, I'm saying, people were far more affected by the calamities. They were far more crestfallen, and it was difficult to counsel them back to positivity. Whereas in another country where people had deeper faith in God, it was easier. People were actually quite resilient. They were able to help each other and look after each other. They did not need any counselor to come from elsewhere and help them, because their faith in God helped them go through even the bad times, believing that this is the least of the worst that could happen to us. Things could have gotten worse than this. But God has given us to bear it. So faith in God, faith in this higher idea of the transience of the world and permanence of divinity helped one country recover from the losses faster, whereas the other country suffered greater deal. Buddha says, the great Buddha says, there are two types of suffering. One is the real suffering that happens because of you went through some trouble. The other is your imaginary suffering, which is because you have imagined it to be more than what it really is. He says two arrows strike the person. The first arrow is the actual arrow of a trouble. The second arrow is the imaginary suffering. So he says, while problem is not a choice, your difficulties is not a choice. It will happen to you, but suffering is your choice. Pain is not a choice, but suffering is a choice that you can make. And that suffering one need not go through if one realizes pain and pleasures are part of life. Then we will go through it with equanimity. And the equanimity, samatva is the yoga. We also learned yesterday that world is transient, so there's no point in spending too much time running and chasing the world, because at the end of it will turn into nothing. Like yesterday, one of the speakers was also saying, Dr. Anand who had come, he was saying, when he went through a tremendous heart problem and he had only 10% chances of survival, he thought, if I had died, all my wealth, knowledge, all my position, power, influence, everything would have turned into nothing for him. It's over. That is the realization one has when one comes too close to death. That is the idea. So he says that what's the point in running behind things which are impermanent? So we all think that it's all good to hear, but to let go is not easy. To let go is not easy because we are made to think that this is our safety and security. But our Ashtavakra says, believing in the higher truth, the permanence of divinity and the impermanence of the world is real wisdom, and that is what you should be thinking and believing in. I'll go to the next shloka, which is on page number 107. It's the fifth shloka, which says, Chintaya jayate dukkham nanyathe heti nishchayi taya hinah sukhi shantaha sarvatra galitas pruhaha, which means chinta. Chinta means worry. Just now I mentioned, pain is inevitable, but suffering is your choice. Like that, problems in life are inevitable, but worrying about it is your choice. You make it worse by worrying too much, and some people are so worried that even if there is no problem, they imagine that something will go wrong. They're eternal pessimists. Something will always go wrong. They believe, and because they keep believing like that, things keep going wrong for them. No, it is like self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe in something, it manifests. The more you are negative, the more negative things happen to you. The more you are positive, the more positive things happen. Says, Chintaya jayate dukkham. All the sorrow arises from this constant worry about things. And this he know, the Jnani knows, Nanyatha, na anyatha iti nishchayi. In nishchaya, in confirmed way, the wise man knows that nothing else is the reason for our sorrows in this life. The only reason for our sorrows is this constant worry, chinta, continuously worrying about everything. Then he says, Taya hina sukhi shantaha. Bereft of this, getting rid of it, one becomes happy and peaceful. Sarvatra galitas prahaha, because he has gotten rid of all the desires in all places. At all times, in all places, in all situations, desha kala paristiti, this person has gotten rid of all his desires. Therefore, there is no worry because there is no anxiety of the outcome, because there is no desire. Whatever comes by virtue of his fate, as the last time we heard, apada sampada kala, daiva deveti nishchaya. All good and bad times happen to us because of our fate, they believe, because of our past deeds. So therefore, no point in complaining and crying. It is a part of the whole thing. Likewise, this person stops worrying. Why? Because he believes that whatever is happening is bound to happen. It's meant to be this way. And there is little I can do about it. The best thing I can do about it is not to worry. Not insist that I must somehow remedy this and somehow I get rid of this. That's not possible. Go through it. That is why endure it. Krishna says endure it. Don't complain. Just endure it in life. And be happy and be peaceful. So Chinta is the reason for Chita, Bhagavan used to say. Chinta means constant worry. Chita means your funeral pyre. This Chinta leads you to Chita. The only solution is Chintana, he used to say. Chintana means constant contemplation on the divine. So the three words, Chinta, which is worry, Chita, which is your funeral pyre, and Chintana, which is contemplation. So if you contemplate on the higher self and the divine, You don't worry, because of which you don't die early. Many people are dying early. Yesterday we had the mental health day, international. Many of them are dying of worries and anxieties, imaginary things. They imagine things to go that they will go wrong. Paranoids. They just can't believe things can go right. This makes the things worse for them. Every time they worry, they make it worse for them, because there is a law of attraction in the universe. The kind of person you are, you attract the same kind of people and situations to yourself. Birds of the same feather, as they say, flock together. So you'll attract that kind of energy, those kind of people to you who are negative like you. And it gets worse and worse with those people joining you. So it is not right. So always think in a positive way, be positive. That is possible only in the company of positive people. That is why run away from bad company and join the company of the devotees and positive people. That will give you some positivity. It is very important, because if you don't make self-efforts to consciously get rid of negative people and join positive people, what in today's parlance we call toxic people, get rid of them by effort. Without putting effort, it won't happen. You don't just believe that they will leave you one day. No, they won't leave you. You have to make efforts to break ties, break away from those people and sever all ties with such people and go to the company of positive people. That is why satsanga is important. I believe there is a story when Gautam Buddha was being served by his disciple Ananda. One morning when Ananda would wake up earlier than Gautam Buddha and do his meditation, and by the time Buddha wakes up, he would be ready to serve him. So one day in his meditation, he got this brainwave, that eureka moment. And he felt that satsanga is half the effort. Half the effort on the spiritual path is achieved if you are in the company of good people. He thought so. And he was waiting for the Buddha to get up so that he could share his new insight. And when Buddha woke up, he went and told him, I have discovered this great truth. What is it? That good company solves half of our problems. It's half of our journey. It's half of our seeking. Then Gautam Buddha said, no, you're wrong. Good company is all of your problems solved. It is all that you need. From there, everything begins. So seeking good company consciously is extremely important, and running away from bad company. That is very, very ABC, avoid bad company, Bhagavan used to say. First step of spiritual path is ABC, avoid bad company. So that is very important. You stay in the company of greedy, angry, frustrated, pessimistic, constant negative people. You will also become one of them. Yadbhavam. You will develop such feelings, and that is what will happen to you. That is the idea. Even yesterday the speaker had come, he was telling, I'm so frustrated, so angry after visiting this place. It's a nice way to start a speech. Start on a negative note, you catch everybody's attention. And he caught everybody's attention that he came here and got very angry, frustrated, and in a way depressed that why is it like this? Why whole of the country can't be like this? That was his call. And I told him, what's the point in complaining? If I complain, how does it resolve anything? Look at our model. We are not complaining about what all is wrong here. We are only trying to do whatever right we can in our capacity. A little lamp you light instead of worrying about the darkness. It will go a long way in resolving your issues. But sitting here and crying about darkness and complaining about how everything is bad around me, how nobody is good, this, that, it doesn't add value to you or to the world around you. This constant bickering, complaining and cribbing, this is not going to help anybody. So what is our solution? Light a lamp. Make efforts. I know the light, one lamp will not remove all the darkness, but at least it removes the darkness around you and the person who is next to you. At least you can walk in the light of that lamp. That's enough to begin with. This is very important. As the other day I was reciting a poem. Jalate chalo tum diye sneha bhar bhar, kabhi to dhara ka andhera mitega. Someday this darkness of the world will disappear. Keep lighting lamps of love. जला दीप पहला तुम्ही ने तिमिर की चुनौती प्रथम बार स्वीकार की थी. The first time you challenged the darkness, you took upon yourself the challenge of darkness by lighting the first lamp of love. You dared to do that while others complained and cried and bickered about it. You did that. And he says, जलाते चलो तुम now I forget. तिमिर की सरित पार करने तुम्ही ने बना दीप की नाव तैयार की थी. To cross over this sea of darkness, you were the first one who created this boat of a lamp in which you could sail and cross over the darkness. Nobody dared, no others only worried and cried and complained, but you took courage to light that first lamp, make that first boat to cross over this dark sea. You did that. बहाते चलो नाव तुम यह निरंतर, कभी तो तिमिर का किनारा मिलेगा. Keep floating these boats of love continuously. One day you will definitely find the shores of this darkness. You will reach light. This optimism is what keeps us going. Hope is what keeps us going. Umeed pe duniya kayam hai, they say. It is hope. So when we do some good work, what are we creating? We are creating hope in people's hearts. I know things are bad, things are dark. The way world is around, we can worry about it eternally. There is nothing going to change because of that. But you make a little effort to create some hope in somebody's heart. Make them feel loved for, cared for, included, wanted. That creates hope in them. And that hope is very powerful. It can create magic. But if you give negativity to people, nothing, kuch nahi ho sakta hai, this is like that only, people are like that only, they are selfish. They continuously go on complaining about it, nothing changes because of that. In fact, things get worse. So our hope is this, that yes, world is transient, world is impermanent, full of sorrow, full of misery, but still find a way to be happy within this unhappy world. Why? Because that is the only way. And how can you be happy? The other way, I said, make others happy. When you make others happy, you become happy. So do little deeds of goodness. Light those lamps of love. Sail those boats of hope. And the sea of darkness will be crossed one day and we will reach the other side. But if you don't do anything sitting on this shore, you go on complaining how terrible is this sea, how dark it is. Nothing is going to change. So I was telling him also, yes, we can also complain and cry about why governments don't do what they supposed to do, why people are like that. But how does it help anybody? At least we are lighting a lamp and trying to fight the darkness to that extent. Similarly, one more of the leader had come. He was also starting. Sanatana Dharma is on decline. Nobody cares about Hindu principles. Next generation doesn't go to temples. I kept on listening. After some time, I got fed up because, what's the point? I told, yes, but I cannot change the whole world. I don't have a magic wand. Everybody will wake up as a great follower of Sanatana Dharma. But what I am doing in these children, whatever in my capacity, this is what I can do. These children, I am teaching what is right. And I know all of them will not follow at the end. Maybe few will fall away. But doesn't matter. At least some people have gone ahead and done that. Now, farmer knows when he grows his crop, not everything will be a rich harvest. Sometimes some crops fail. Some trees die. Some fruits rot. But for that reason, he doesn't stop growing next season. He is an eternal optimist. He goes on doing. So optimism in life is very important. Positivity is very important. Hope against all hopes is very important. That is human resilience. And that comes from spirituality. Only then mental illnesses can be defeated. Because you are spiritual, like those people in Philippines who were more spiritual than the other country. Therefore, they could come back quickly to positive. They could recover from the losses faster. And not only recover, they helped each other also recover from the losses. Through empathy, through kindness, through compassion, through sharing and caring. So that is the idea. That is why Ashtavakra goes on saying, what's the point in crying over this spilt milk? Chinta, chinta, chinta. Bhagavan used to say, hurry, worry and curry. These three things you should avoid. Hurry, in a great hurry to achieve everything. Patience. Everything has to happen today. This instant generation that we have today, everything has to be instant. Fast cars, Tigrid would joke. Fast money, fast cars, fast women and all that. Everything has to be this way. Everything you want at the snap of a finger. And this generation is super impatient. Everything has to happen. That is why when we were making websites, I told them, see, this generation is so impatient. If that website takes 1 second extra than the normal, they will not open, they'll go and do something else. Today, all this in social media has changed. Earlier, we could watch a movie for 3 hours. All the family will sit together, eat snack, drink tea and watch the whole 3-hour movie. Today, who has the patience? Short films. Reels. Reels is a big market. For making reels, what all people are doing. I was watching one documentary. The reels market, the Kalara Capital has come out with some kind of study. It is right now 45,000 crore rupees market. Reel market. 8 crore Indians make reels. but only 1.5 lakh Indians make money out of those reels. And by 2030, it is going to be 1 lakh crore worth market, making these short videos and reels, Instagram and things like that. And everybody is trying to move. And you know what all people are doing to get their reels viral? What stunts they are doing, lying on the road like a dead body, stopping all the traffic, suddenly then waking up and laughing, and that reel goes viral. Such low, EQ entertainment quotient, such low. The other day I saw, in some MP, these two boys on the bike, they are carrying some spray, which is, if you spray, a lot of foam comes out. And on the road, they are going and spraying it on people nearby. And they sprayed it on a man's face. Poor man was going on his bicycle. And they sprayed it on his face for fun, and that became a reel. And that man went and complained to the police. Police arrested these two. People are doing anything in the name of reel. What all they are not doing? I see women and men all, taking up such ugly ideas. Just to make, I can understand you are making some culinary reel, you are teaching how to make a nice new dish, I understand. You are teaching how to do a painting, I understand. You are telling about a new place you visited, I understand. Or a subject or a skill. But these kind of reels, dancing to ugly tunes and troubling people, no civic sense. And that becomes a reel, and people are enjoying those reels and they are making money on it. It is horrible. So this shows the level of our quality of our thinking that has gone down so badly that these cheap things are now entertaining us. When few years ago, Indian entertainment industry, there was a censor board, very strong it was. Anything that was not civic or not socially palatable, not fitting into the Indian structure of things, societal structure, would be censored. But when we were kids, we were just growing up, things were very clean. And even if there was something to be shown which was inappropriate, they will find a symbolic way of doing it, but they will never show it as gross as that. But Hollywood was very straightforward from that day. They were like that. The entertainment, slowly that crept into Bollywood. I remember the very first time something like that came up, there was a huge uproar. The parents, the societies, NGOs, they were all on the road saying this can't be shown in the public. And children are watching, people were so against it. Today, they have accepted it. As I see, that is how it is. And children are watching whatever comes to their mind. There is no sense of censorship at all. So our idea, all I am saying is that mind is like that, very cheap. It loves cheap entertainment. But we should not fall for that. We stay in the company of right people. We will not bother about this. As Bhagavan keeps saying, that hurry, Instagram, instant generation, it's very, very dangerous. They want to make quick money. They trade and gamble on the online sites. And these sites are no less. They will entertain you in such a way that they will keep you engaged till you lose every bit of money and borrow money from such cheap websites which will give you very quick money at huge costs, and then you suffer, you lose everything. This is how it is. I was told that in the US there is one place, Las Vegas. Las Vegas is all gambling. The whole business runs on gambling tourism. Like that there is one Macau near Hong Kong also, because Hong Kong people are sitting here. And Chinese people are also. There's a Macau one place. There's an eastern version of Las Vegas. They say people enter there with whatever money they have. They start gambling, and these huge buildings, these are some 50-story buildings. There is a hotel inside that, restaurants are there, entertainment is there. You keep gambling. When you get tired, go have a nice meal, then you have a room, go sleep over there, come back and start gambling. They don't even know it is day or night. It is so well lit, people don't step out for days. They keep on playing because they want quick bucks and quick entertainment. At the end of it, they'll mostly lose everything, because if people were making money, then how will these gambling companies will make money? They don't make. So people only are losing all the money. Same thing is stock market. Today, zero brokerage. So many apps have come up. Left, right, center, people are buying stocks. Initially there, and these are all algorithms. What do they do? The secret, I am from banking investment sector, so I know. There are a set of brokers who will say buy one stock. There is another set of broker will say sell. They are all very well synchronized. They know what to do today, how to move the market. A fool will come in, he will get a thing that buy this stock. At 10 rupees, he'll buy the stock, because one set of broker will give him that advice. The other set of broker who have made that previous buyer sell the stock, because he's already made the money and they're selling him the stock. So let us say a stock is worth 10 rupees. This man today buys at 10 rupees. Tomorrow what happens? They will go to another person and say, buy this stock. So many new investors will come in and they will buy the stock at 12 rupees, and then they will tell this man, sell this stock at 12 rupees. So they'll make 2 rupees for him. Third day they'll catch some other fool like that and sell the same stock at a higher price, because when you open the app, you are thinking you are getting some personalized, customized investment advice. No. You are one of the fools is caught today by them. And you will do what exactly they want you to do, sell or buy. According to that, they will make money. This is how it goes. We are fools. So many young kids are just falling into this trap of trading, thinking they are getting some real, honest advice from some brokers. No, these are all algorithms. There is no broker sitting over there. Whole of it is a big computer program, and they know what to sell at what price today and what to buy at what price today and how to manipulate it tomorrow. At the end, the investors or brokers only make money. These investors don't make anything. First, they will make you taste success 3-4 days. They know you are a new, what you call a bakra, scapegoat. They will catch you. First 5-6 days, they'll show you the moon. Every day you'll be making money. Why? Because algorithms know this is a new investor. He needs to make money for the next 5 days to get him sucked into this system. 10 rupees, 20, 50, 100. You'll say, my God, I have got some very good trading platform. They're so good. I'm making money. But they have all planned this. You are the newcomer. You must have that honeymoon period for some days. So that you start with 10,000, then you'll put 50,000, then you'll make money, put 1 lakh, then you'll make 5 lakh, then you put 10 lakhs into it by borrowing, begging from everybody, thinking next day you'll be 20 lakh, next day you'll be to zero. Because they know the trend. They watch how much money this man is putting every day. They know this is the threshold. Now turn the game back. This man will lose everything. You think they are all fools sitting there? They are thorough, sharp businessmen. We are the fools who are falling for it, especially these young kids, younger ones, for quick bucks, instant. That's why Bhagavan said, hurry, stop. Worry. If you do things in a hurry, you will worry. Why? Because naturally you have done things in a haste, and haste makes waste, as they say. You will end up with worries. I've seen this whole Instagram generation, I call them, how many mistakes they have made by just getting sucked into that whole thing, getting into broking, getting into online gambling. Luckily, the government of India has come up with rules that you cannot have this gaming and all with money involved in it. You can play gaming for gaming, but you can't have money, like you can't make a gambling out of gaming apps. They're very clear. It's huge uproar. There are so many lakhs of 2 lakh people are employed in that gaming industry. What will happen to them? I told they're employed in gaming industry, not in gambling industry. Why are you worried then? But there is gambling going on behind this gaming. Instant generation. So hurry, then worry. And curry, he say. Curry means eat correctly. Don't eat too much of food, overtly cooked and processed food. Again, this generation is all about processed. Everything is processed. The 2 types of malnutrition exists in India. One, in the villages where children don't get to eat basic things. They only keep eating carbs and starch because that's all is available for cheap. And the other side is this city, urban malnutrition, where children are obese. Obesity is the big issue. Why? Because they keep eating all this junk food. And that is what is ruining their health. And parents don't care because they have no time. They are also hurry, curry type. So they also give whatever is there, give them some bread, jam and get going. We have to make money at our offices. What they're eating, when they're eating, no sense. So these all are leading to all the mess. And then you say we have mental health issues. You created it. You created it in the first place. So this is the idea. He says this worry comes from making mistakes. Haste makes waste. Waste makes worry. So do not be in a hurry. Bhagavan used to chant this. Let's chant this so that we remember. Haste makes waste. Waste makes worry. So do not be in a hurry. Yeah. At least this generation should remember this. In a hurry, we want to get everything very fast. We make mistakes, we worry, and that haste is the reason why we have wasted our lives. So go with the flow. That's what I say. Your life should be effortless. Your life should be spontaneous, like flow of river. Effortlessly it should go. There is no push and pull. What is divinely destined, let it flow through you. Your whole goal is to express the divinity through you. That's all. Express the divine will to flow through you and make things happen through you. And if divine will is not flowing, so be it. Keep quiet that day. Do nothing. And if divine will decides that you should do something, then do something on that day. not by your wishes and your desires, but the divine should guide your steps. That is possible if you have completely given up all the desires for yourself. Galitas prahaha, it is the word. All your desires have been dissolved. There is nothing that you want to do. You wake up just to do the divine will. That's it. You don't wake up to do your will, your desires, your ideas, your ambitions, nothing yours. Everything is divine. Whatever flows through you that day, you should be happy. Today you may do great things, tomorrow you may do nothing. Doesn't matter. Whatever is divine decided that day. That surrender is the essence of life. This is what is in Galitas Praha. Tayahina Sukhi Shanta. Become free from this and become happy and peaceful. And in all situations, be desireless. Galitas Praha. Have no desire of your own. That is what Krishna says in Bhakti Yoga also. Anapeksha Shushir Dakshaha Udasinaha Gatavyataha Sarvaramba Parityagi Muktoya Sachame Priya. Sarvaramba Parityagi is the word. Sarvaramba Parityagi means he is not the initiator of anything. You may say, you initiated the hospital, you initiated the school, you initiated today one more urgent care center. You are doing all these things and then telling don't take any such initiatives. No, by your ego or out of your desire, don't take initiatives. To further your promotion and your dominance or your control, don't take initiatives. If it's divinely ordained for the good of all, definitely divine will guide you. He will inspire you. And you know when divine inspires because you feel so correct in that. You feel so convinced. There is no anxiety of failure also. Yes, we will start off because divine has willed. Whether you will succeed tomorrow or fail tomorrow, that doesn't bother you when it's divinely ordained. But if it's started or initiated by your ego, every step there is worry. What if it goes wrong? People will laugh at me. I would have wasted all the resources. People will question me. I will look like a fool. All these worries will bother you. But when you are not the initiator, your ego is not the reason why you started things. It is under a divine decree, under a divine guidance. You don't worry about the outcomes of it. I am not worried about the outcomes. See, everybody who comes here, from the topmost CEOs and world leaders, they are all perplexed. No, even if suppose this is doable, how did you end up taking such big risks, they say. 4,000, 3,000 families are earning here. 1 month if you don't pay them, something goes wrong, what will happen to them? Such a huge institution you have built up. Today you are there running. What will happen tomorrow when you are not there? Who will support this? Will it be free forever? How is it possible? Every single person asks me the same question. And I tell them the same thing. I will worry if I am the doer. I am not the doer, so I don't worry about it. If it is my initiative and I am responsible in the way that I initiated it, then I must worry. It is God's will. How long will it work? As long as God wills, it will work. One of the journalists was asking me, okay, you do free, 5 years you do, 10 years you do, but your institutions are going bigger and bigger. Running it free is not practical. How long will you run it? I said, as long as the divine wills. That the answer that doesn't go well with them. They think, how is it possible? But I truly believe in it. We are not the initiator of these projects, so I am not the doer, so I am not the enjoyer, I am not the sufferer, and I am not the person who needs to worry about it. It will run as long as it runs. If it doesn't run tomorrow also, so be it. As if it was my problem. It was never my problem. But do I not take the responsibility as given by God? Yes, I do take. When divine wakes me up and says, put this effort, I put that effort, that's it. The effort will succeed, not succeed is something that is under Daiva Deveti Nishchaya. It is based on my fate and everybody's fate and the divine will. Beyond that, what can I say? We just wake up and do our job. I always tell, when Narsimurti used to get worried, earlier he was in charge of everything, so he used to worry. At that time, institution was very small. But then, slowly, the responsibilities were passed on to me. It became even bigger. So, he started losing sleep, that how will I handle? I told, why are you losing sleep? You are losing sleep when you are handling, you are losing sleep when I am handling. What is the point? You better sleep. Then he learned that and now he sleeps very well, he says. Otherwise, he has to get messages from at 3:30 a.m. out of worry. How? Now I don't. This is why, because he has given up the idea, the doership. Now it has been passed on to you, divine will do it. He thinks I am doing it, but I also know that I am not doing it. It is also being done by a higher divine design. And that is how it should work. And how long should it work? As long as divine decides. Who am I to decide? Who am I to tell the divine how it should work, when it should work? But do I not put my efforts? Yes. I am up from morning, 6 o'clock I left. I came back, I will go for a meeting to the hospital now. Then come back in the afternoon, go on till all the meetings till 9:30. I'm not bothered about hard work. I'm not worried. I'm not scared of that. Because it's divinely done. And it is not hard work. It is hard work. It is not effort or burden for me. Burden comes from doership. When you are not the doer, you don't feel the burden of it. You can work on and on, but you don't feel exhausted. Physically may be tired, but mentally you are alert. Why? Because the doership, the burden is not there. You are not samsara vahika. You are not carrying the burden of samsara on your head. This is why there is no worry for such people. Because they don't have doership. They don't have enjoyership. There is no worry. So how do you become a person without worry? All your desires should be done. The first word chintaya and the last word galita spraha, these are connected. When your desires are dissolved, your chintas will disappear. All your worries will disappear. It is our desires only which make us go through all kinds of worries. So stop worrying, be desireless and flow effortlessly under the divine will. Surrender yourself to divine and let the divine decide as it is to be done. So some days will still be good days, some days will still be bad days, but you have accepted it like you have accepted the seasons. Summertime it will be hot, winter time it will be cold. You have accepted it. That's why Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkha. By mere touch of the skin or by mere experience to the senses, sparsha, that you experience happiness or sadness in heat and cold. Heat and cold are not causing you happiness and sadness. Your interaction with that causes you. The same fire which is so very nice during winters feels terrible during summers. It is too hot. But that is not the reason you curse the fire. Fire, is doing its job. You accept it. That seasons are different, so you will have different experiences. Accept it, and he says, Tanti Dikshasva Bharata, Agama Payino Anityam. They come and go, they are temporary. Summer comes and winter comes. It is a part of seasons change. Accept it and endure it. Don't complain. Don't worry. Why it happened like this? Why couldn't have happened differently? Why to me only? There also somebody sent a message. I have been your devotee. I have done this. I have done that. Why I am only suffering? Why I am only going through this? Then I asked him, when you were having good time, you never messaged, why I am only having good time? So many people are having bad time around me. Why you are giving good time to me only? Nobody asked me that. But today, why are you asking? When bad times have come, why me? Why good times me you never asked? Why bad times me you are asking? This is where our human mind is like. But a jnani will simply have no desire. He will surrender to the divine will, and he says, everything is okay. He becomes, though that duragraha is not there, that I want it this way or not that way. That idea disappears. So that is such a beautiful, effortless, free life, burdenless life that a jnani lives. Be like that, and that will happen to you only when you have no individual desire of yours. You are still working for some greater cause, but not for your individual gratification. You are working as per the divine will. It could be running a business, be a political leader, a scientist, or an industrialist, or a musician, or a Guruji, whoever you are. Because you are under the divine flow, there is no effort at all. Because there is no effort, there is no worry of outcomes, whether it is going to be positive or negative. We will go to the next shloka with that. 111 page, 11.6 is the shloka, which says, Naham deho name deho bodhoham iti nishchayi kaivalyam iva samprapto na smaritya kritam akritam. It says, Naham deho. First, we learned in Ashtavakra that we are not the body, we are the spirit inside the body, the jiva bhava, or even paramatma bhava we say. We are not the body. Body is a vessel that is carrying us, the spirit of us. We are this ultimately nirakara, nirguna, brahman. That is our definition. That we have learnt, everybody knows it theoretically. Naham deho. So it says, I am not the body. Good God, you got it right. One point. Then, name deho. Nor the body is mine. First you say, I am not the body, perfectly correct, because body is belonging to, like Bhagavan used to say, this is my kerchief is different from me. Like that, this is my body is different from me, he used to teach us like that. So first point is right, you are not the body. But then you think body is mine. At least I have to look after my body, like I am not the car, but the car is mine. I have to be looking after it, so you get attached to the body. He says, therefore both you get rid of. Naham deho, I am not the body. Name deho, the body is also not mine. That also belongs to God only. When our parents decided to give us birth, did they decide what kind of body they wanted to give us? Or did we decide what kind of body we wanted to have? Short, tall, fair, dark? Nothing. Whatever by nature came, we accepted it, right? Now, of course, we fight. I want to look smarter, handsome, this, that. We go to gym, we go to beauty parlors, all kinds of things. That is a different matter. But when it came in this original state, it came as it is. You had to accept it. Even if whole life you cry and worry and complain, what can change? Of course, you can go get all these cosmetic surgeries done, feel better. But the natural way of what you came was given by God, not given by you, not even given by your parents. Because your parents' body also came from their parents' body, and their parents' bodies came from their parents' bodies. So who had control over it? Nobody had control over it. It came by its own virtue. So neither I am the body, nor the body is mine, remain detached. Body also is given by somebody. Does body, if it is your body, if it is under your control, does it listen to you? Tell the body, don't age. Will it stop aging? Nothing, it will age. It doesn't listen to you. So if it doesn't listen to you, you have no control over it. That's what Ashtavakra is saying. You are not the body, but even body is not yours because it doesn't listen to you. Suppose the son doesn't listen to the father, what will the father say? You are dead for me, you are not my son. Same thing. Body, you don't listen to me. I want you to be healthy. You don't. I don't want you to age and become old. You are already becoming old. You don't listen to me. You are not mine. That idea. Naham deho, name deho. I am not the body is not. Bodham iti, bodho aham. I am only the awareness. Bodhaha. Aham iti nishchayi. Know this with confirmation. Know this with complete conviction that I am the awareness, the self, the consciousness. Neither the body nor the body is mine. These are incidental to my existence. These are not my existence. I am already existing. Body came after that. And the association with it came accordingly. But both are unreal. I am the self. I am the consciousness. I am the awareness, which you already know. And Kaivalyam iva samprapto. Kaivalya is the state of oneness. Supreme state of that oneness without the second. Kaivalyam iti. Kaivalyam iva samprapto. Attain this state of Kaivalya. Kevala Kaivalya means only one. There is no second. Attain that state and na smara akrutam kritam. Na smara means we keep remembering, smarati. We keep remembering, oh, I should have done this, I could not do this. I want to do this, I am not able to do this. Oh, I have done this, I was so great at doing it. This doing and not doing is the whole problem in life, is what Ashtavakra says. When we are not able to do, we regret. When we are able to do, we get excited. There are so many things we wished we could have done, but we could not do, so we worry about it. There are so many things we want to do, we are unable to do, so we worry about it. So many of this doing and not doing catches our being. The consciousness gets trapped in that. So he says, remember, you are the one without the second. You are not the doer, not the enjoyer self. That is your definition. And stop thinking and worrying about what could have been done, what did not go well, what could have gone right, how we made a mistake and messed it up. Don't worry about all that. So just stay away from all this doing and not doing. Because this is what catches you. And all of us, you see, we always live in either the past or in the future. Living in the present is so difficult. You sit here 5 minutes, not 5 seconds, you sit. 1 second, you will be in the past. Second, you will be in the future. Third, again in the past. Fourth, again in the future. It keeps shifting between. It doesn't live in the present at all. Bhagavan used to say, past is past, forget the past. Future is unknown. So don't worry about the future. Live in the present. Present is omnipresent, he used to say. Very, very nice statements. You have to really dig and dwell in that statement, how profound they were. Past is past. What can you do about it? Oh, I did not do things. I could have done it better. I am a fool. Or curse yourself, but how is it going to change anything? So akritam kritam, what I could not do, what I could do, don't worry about that. It's over. Past is past. Future is uncertain. Whether you will be able to do, you may make 100 plans, but what is the guarantee you will be even alive tomorrow to execute these plans? So don't be so attached to your doing. And present, whatever is going through, live in that and live happily. That is what Bhagavan used to say. Because present is omnipresent. What is the present today? It is as I say, past is the seed, present is the tree, and future is another seed. That's how Bhagavan would put it. Today you are what you are because what you did in the past. And what you did today is what will make your future. So present is very powerful, he used to say. That is omnipresent. It is also in the past. It is also in the future. So live in the present. When people come here and say, so much work is there, I tell them only one thing. I have one mantra. One day at a time. This is the mantra. Live that mantra and I can guarantee you will be peaceful. One day at a time. Today, what God has given us to do, let us do it with all our heart, all our might, all our soul, all our love, and forget about it. And finally, in the night, Krishna Padamastu offered everything to you. And if you decide to wake me up tomorrow, you still believe that I am of some use to you. I know you will wake me up. And then I wake up, I will do your will. How long will I do? Till you keep me awake. And then when I go to sleep, I submit everything at your feet, and I go to sleep, and I wake up again and do what you want me to do. Yes, planning has to be done. A project needs to be executed, a plan has to be made. But that doesn't mean that you get stuck to the plan and start worrying. My God, so much work, so many days, this, that, and lose sleep over it. You don't do that. You live for that day, do your very best for that day, and be done with it by end of the day. This living in the present is the concept he is teaching here. This na smarati akritam kritam. Such a person does not remember or dwell over what he has done or what he has not done. He is just flowing, He is not doing. Things are happening. When first time Bhagavan told me about Jivan Mukti, he told me for a Jivan Mukta, nothing is done, everything happens. One statement. The Jivan Mukta does nothing, everything happens. I said, I don't understand what you mean. Then he explained to me. It appears that the Jivan Mukta is busy doing things, but the truth is that things are happening through it, like through a machine. When you put the raw material and you switch on the machine, it processes it and then takes out the product. You will say, oh, machine created the product. No, my product happened through the machine. You think machine was waiting for the raw material and was ready to start baking the product? No, it was just there. You switch it on, it will run. You switch it off, it will stop. It didn't calculate also how much raw material went in, how many products came out. It was just there as a machine, as an instrument. Like a mixie. Like if I tell our ladies, if they make a chutney or make some dough or whatever, you put it in the mixer, switch it on, it runs, finishes the job, you take it out. Now you will take, mixie was grinding the chutney. No. Mixie did not sit thinking, oh, it's 8 o'clock, now time to grind chutney. Where is that lady with all the coconut? It didn't bother. Nor it complained, today too much coconut in me, should have put a little less. How much work today for me? 3 times she has rotated me today. No, it just is there, sitting quiet. You switch on, put things in it, it does its job. Switch it off, take out, clean it, put it back, it remains. Life happens to a jnani. Life happens to a jnani. It just happens. He does not make it happen. It happens. Effortlessly it happens through a jnani's life. That is a great example. A lot of jnanis we have seen in this world who just are there. They appear to be super busy doing so many things. But deep under, if you ask them deep down, they don't feel they are the doers. That is why they are not exhausted. We do work for 2-3, isn't ayasadam, this body and this work is full of burden and tiredness. We get exhausted, tired, and we think that is it. I can't do more than this. But how are these jnanis going on and on? Because they don't feel the doership. That is why they're free from the thought of what I have achieved, what I have not achieved. Why I did not achieve, how can I achieve? These things are not there in jnani's mind. This is how they live. They remember neither I am the body nor the body is mine. As long as this body exists, things will happen through it as per the divine will. Like as long as the mixie is in good shape, it will keep mixing, grinding. That's it. Neither the mixie is you nor the mixie is yours. Like that you have to think. It is an instrument of one electronic of its kind. It does its job whenever it is given to do its job. And it doesn't prefer anything. It does not have prejudices. I would only do coconut chutney, don't put anything else. No, it does anything, you give it to it this. Our life should become effortless like that, so that we don't have to worry and run through this whole idea of doing and not doing. I'm just seeing how many shlokas are there. To finish it or not finish it. I don't think I can finish it. So anyway, we'll dwell with this, and Krishna says in Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, if you Kshetra Kshetrajna is one of the chapters in Bhagavad Gita, he says, all are fields and I am the knower of the field. That's why Kshetra means field, Kshetrajna means the knower of the field. He thinks of the body as a field, like a farm, where you have soil and you till it and then you sow the seeds and the seeds grow into a crop, then you harvest it and enjoy it. Likewise, this body is like a field. Our thoughts are the seeds. Our efforts that we put are the process of farming. And finally, the actions that lead to results are the harvest that we enjoy. That is how it thinks. But who is aware of this whole process? The self, which is who I am, Krishna says. Your body is simply a place where things, when sown, they yield certain results. Deham and de. So he says, Deha, here two words are used. Naham deho means I am not the body. Name deho. This body is also not mine. So who are you? He says, I am Dehi, Krishna says, the one who dwells within the body. That is what I am. House is like you go in a rental, you take a rented house, or let us you go to a hotel room. What happens? The room is not you, the room is not yours. But you are the roomie or whatever, you are living in that room. Only as long as it is permitted to. So Krishna says all these bodies are like fields because anything sown in it will yield a crop. Bad seeds will yield bad crop, good seeds will yield good crops. A lemon seed will bring lemon fruit, apple seed will bring apple fruit. It just does its job. Whatever is sown, it results. It is not the fault of the soil or the field. Whatever we sow, it will come out. As you sow, so shall you reap, as they say. So body is just a neutral place. Anything can be grown there. Good things can also be grown, bad things also can be grown. That is how body is. Don't be upset with the body and curse it. And there's nothing, no need to do that. Krishna says, know this, that body is a place where things happen. As per like a farmer's field. And who am I? I am the knower of this field. What will grow, what will not grow, what is good, what is not good. I know all of it. Like I am the farmer and this is the farm. Think like that, he says. And then he says, Kshetra Kshetrajna, yo, this is the idea, this is the ultimate knowledge. He says, Kshetrajnam chapi viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am the knower of all fields, not only this body. I am the knower of all the bodies because I am the indweller of all. He says, Kshetra Kshetrajna yogaha yattad jnanam. He says something that this knowledge, Kshetra Kshetrajna knowledge is the ultimate knowledge. Kshetra Kshetrajna jnanam yattad jnanam matam mama. That is the ultimate knowledge. That you should be able to differentiate between the deha and the dehi, the body and the indweller. Both are not the same. Krishna says very clearly, I am the indweller in all. I am not the body. I am the indweller in the body. So that is the Kshetra Kshetrajna yoga, he says. The one who understands this clearly gets rid of the attachment to the body, clearly gets rid of doership and enjoyership. That is why you should know, differentiate between see, most of the cultures don't even understand that there is an indweller and there is a body. They think I am the body. Somebody asks you, where are you? You will point towards the body, right? Naturally we point because that is how we identify ourselves. But Sri Krishna says that no, body is other than you. You are the indweller. And I am, when he says I am, means not only Lord Sri Krishna. I, as the Supreme Consciousness, I am the indweller of all the bodies. Not just your body. Every body is permeated with the same divine consciousness. That is what Krishna is saying. Then why different bodies yield different results? Some sow good thoughts in it. Suppose a farmer is given seeds, rice to be planted. He will plant rice, rice will be the harvest. If he plants wheat, wheat will be the harvest. If he plants ragi or millets, millets will be the harvest. Likewise, some people are good people, some people are not so good people. Some people are very kind, some people are very generous, some people are miserly and selfish. Because the kind of seeds that were sown on the last many lives, that's the crop that they are reaping today. So this body is incidental to our existence. But we need it because without the body we cannot function in this world. We need that car. But we do not have to get overtly attached to that car. That is the idea. We are very clear. Bhagavan was so clear. I remember in the earlier days when we used to go to Center for Human Excellence, which started, these questions were asked, why you left the body early, why you did not continue this, that. He would say, I treat the body like a vehicle. And when vehicle is not working, which fool would like to continue sitting in it? You will change the vehicle and go on. Suppose you are going to the airport and your car breaks down in between. Would you sit there in the car or you want to go to catch the flight, right? So you will call somebody and say, this car has broken down, please send me another car. And you don't mind shifting to the next car and going and catching the flight. Even though your car is very dear to you, you bought it with hard-earned money, doesn't matter. Because your goal is to reach somewhere for which sake you need to catch the flight on time. He said, I have no attachment to the body. So I dropped the body when it was not working for me. Like somebody will drop the car or give up the car which is not functioning. So simple for him. So easy for him. Here millions of devotees are crying day and night over that loss of that body. And he, the one who owned the body, didn't bother at all. He said, it is after all a body, it's a vehicle. What will I do with a broken down car? I don't want to use it. It doesn't work for me. So he just dropped it, he said. That clarity, that conviction, nishchayi. That's why again when he says that nishchayi, conviction should be there. Theoretically, superficially, verbally we can say all these things very easy. But do you really, really believe to this moment if you have to just drop this body, are you okay with that or not okay with that? The mrityu bhaya is still there or not there? These are measures of your spiritual progress. You will say, no, I have my children to look after, I had these plans, I have those many EMIs, that. Then you are not yet detached. What will happen to what will happen? God will take care of them also, that's what I say. As if you were taking care, as if all this happened because of you, as if you are a big, great fellow who does make things happen. No, nothing. You just drop it. If it tells you drop it, just drop it like that. That is the kind of quality of surrender and clarity of surrender that Gyanis have, which Agyanis cannot possess. Agyanis will suffer if they lose a thing. They will cry over it for the rest of their lives. They'll worry, they will curse, why it did not happen, why it happened like this. They will go on and on and on. They will never find peace and happiness. A Gyani can drop it like that, like hot potatoes. It doesn't belong to him. So easy. That is why Deha Bhava is the most difficult thing to get rid of. Because with Deha Bhava comes the the Ahankara Bhava, Mamakara Bhava. When you think you are the body, then only ego comes. And when your ego comes, attachments come. And then you are bound. Baddha Jivis. But Buddha Jivis, the enlightened ones, don't consider their body as even theirs. It has happened to them by virtue of being born to certain parents in certain circumstances. That's it. It's been allotted to you like that. You don't have a choice. It just came to you because of your previous life's karmas. So they just accept it and deal with it. They don't cry and complain. No chinta. So there is no illness, mental or otherwise. They just go with it. Ashtavakra got whatever bent body. He didn't complain about it. And when the people in the court of Janaka started laughing, hey, what is this kind of man who has entered? Do you think he's a Gyani? Look at how ugly he is. And he told very clearly, I thought I have entered a court of great wise people. I realized that I have entered the court of cobblers who only deal with skin. They don't understand the greater truth. That is the comment he made. So that is how detached these Gyanis are. And the biggest detachment is detachment from your body. That is the biggest detachment you can develop, because we identify ourselves with the body, and without a body we feel we don't exist. But the knowledge of the self says, no, you continue. And we as devotees cannot be still attached, because we have seen the example in front of us, right? We know things continue. Bodies are just incidental to us. They don't last any which ways. They will anyway go. How much ever you try, whatever you do, at the end it will leave you. So forget about this body consciousness, forget about all this doing, not doing, enjoying, not enjoying, and remember the divine and be free. That is the concept. One bhajan is there from Brahmananda Swamiji. Jo bhaje Hari ko sada, wo parama pad paega. Who thinks of only the Hari, the divine, without worrying about all these worldly things and all the sense of responsibility, duties and this and that, all that is illusory. That person will attain highest happiness. Okay, saying that.
जो भजे हरि को सदा जो भजे हरि को सदा जो भजे हरि को सदा सोई परम पद पावेगा, सोई परम पद पावेगा, सोई परम पद पावेगा, सोए परम पद पावेगा। जो भजे हरि को सदा, जो भजे हरि को सदा, सोई परम पद पावेगा, सोए परम पद पावेगा। देह के माला, देह के माला, देह के माला, तिलक और छाप नहीं किस काम के। प्रेम भक्ति के बिना नहीं नाथ के तो प्रभु मिल जाएगा, सोई परम पद पावेगा, सोई परम पद पावेगा। दिल के दर्पण को सफा कर, दूर करो अभिमान को। दिल के दर्पण को सफा कर, दूर करो अभिमान को। खाक हो, खाक हो गुरु के कदम के तो प्रभु मिल जाएगा, सोई परम पद पावेगा, सोए परम पद पावेगा। सब बैठ कर एकांत में, छोड़ दुनिया के मजे सब बैठ कर एकांत में, एकांत में। एकांत एकांत में ध्यान धरो हरि के चरण का, फिर जन्म नहीं आएगा, सोई परम पद पावेगा, सोए परम पद पावेगा। दृढ़ भरोसा मन में करके, दृढ़ भरोसा मन में करके, जो जपे हरि नाम को, 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 दृढ़ भरोसा मन में करके, जो जपे हरि नाम को, कहते हैं ब्रह्मानंद, को सदा, जो भजे हरि को सदा, सोए परम पद पावेगा, सोए परम पद पावेगा। जो भजे, जो भजे, जो भजे हरि को सदा, 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 जो भजे हरि को सदा, हरि को सदा, हरि को सदा। सर्वसुगुण सिंधवे सकल सुजन बंधवे, सर्वसुगुण सिंधवे सकल सुजन बंधवे, गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमंगलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमंगलम्। दीनदुःखित पोषकाय दान धर्म प्रेरकाय, दीनदुःखित पोषकाय दान धर्म प्रेरकाय, हितरताय सर्वमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम्। वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय, वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय, ब्रह्मज्ञानबोधकाय दिव्यमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम्। सदय हृदय राजिताय सुमन सदन शङ्कराय, सदय हृदय राजिताय सुमन सदन शङ्कराय, शरणमुक्तिकारणाय मोक्षमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम्। सत्य साईनः प्रियाय सत्य प्रेम विग्रहाय, सत्य साईनः प्रियाय सत्य प्रेम विग्रहाय, नित्य शुद्ध निर्मलाय नित्यमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय दिव्यमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम्। ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे, भक्तजना संरक्षक, भक्तजना संरक्षक पतिमहेश्वर। ॐ जय जगदीश हरे। शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते, स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा। ॐ जय जगदीश हरे। मातपिता गुरुदैवमु मर्यन्तयो नीवे, स्वामी मर्यन्तयो नीवे, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ, नागेन्द्रशयन। ॐ जय जगदीश हरे। ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी हो साई महादेव, सद्गुरु साई महादेवा, मंगल हारति अंदुको, मंगल हारति अंदुको, मंदर गिरिधारी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण, नारायण नारायण ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण, नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण, नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण, नारायण नारायण ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण, नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण, नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय जय बोलो सद्गुरु श्री मधुसूदन